Unexpected Summer Series. Reddit-style story. From redditstories.night mode.
It was the summer before my senior year of college, and I had decided to spend it at the beach, working at a small seaside cafe to save some money. The town was picturesque, with white sand beaches and a boardwalk that buzzed with life. I had rented a room in a quaint beach house, thinking it would be a peaceful escape. Little did I know that this summer would be anything but ordinary. On my first day at the cafe, I was surprised to see a familiar face behind the counter. It was Claire, my high school crush. She looked even more stunning than I remembered, her wavy blonde hair catching the sunlight and her green eyes sparkling with mischief.
Alex, is that you?
She exclaimed, wiping her hands on her apron and coming around the counter to give me a hug. Her body pressed against mine, and I felt a surge of heat. Claire, wow, it's been ages. What are you doing here? I managed to stammer, trying to keep my composure.
I work here during the summers. Looks like we'll be spending a lot of time together.
As the days passed, we quickly fell into an easy routine. Claire was as fun and energetic as ever, and her flirtatious nature kept me on my toes. One afternoon, after the cafe had closed and we were cleaning up, she threw a wet cloth at me, laughing as it landed on my face. Hey, no fair, I protested, grabbing a towel and snapping it playfully at her. She dodged it easily and lunged at me, her momentum sending us both crashing to the floor. We landed in a heap, her body pressed against mine. Her laughter died down, and she looked into my eyes, her face inches from mine.
You're cute when you're flustered.
Her breath warm against my lips. Before I could react, she kissed me, her lips soft and inviting. My hands instinctively moved to her waist, pulling her closer. The kiss deepened, and for a moment, the world outside ceased to exist. Chapter 2. The Beach Bonfire. That evening, there was a beach bonfire organized by the locals. Claire and I decided to go together. The sun had set, and the fire crackled brightly against the darkening sky. People were laughing, singing, and enjoying the warm summer night. Claire and I found a spot a little away from the crowd. We sat close, the flickering fire casting shadows on her face. She looked at me with a playful smile.
You know, I've always loved the beach at night. It feels like anything can happen.
I smiled back, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Yeah, it does.
Let's go for a swim.
A swim? Now? I asked, but she was already standing up, pulling off her tank top to reveal a bikini underneath. Without another word, she ran towards the water, laughing. I followed, stripping down to my shorts. The water was surprisingly warm, and the moonlight shimmered on the surface. Claire splashed me, and I retaliated, our laughter echoing across the empty beach. She swam closer, wrapping her arms around my neck.
You know what, Alex? I've liked you since high school.
She admitted softly, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. I've liked you too, Claire, I confessed, feeling a rush of emotions. She smiled, whilst her finger traced patterns on her palm.
Then let's make this summer unforgettable.
Our lips met again, this time more passionately. The waves lapped around us as we kissed, lost in the moment. The cool water and her warm body created a perfect contrast, heightening every sense.
Unexpected Summer, Chapter 3. The Hidden Cove. What happens when a chance encounter reignites old flames? Over the next few weeks, Claire and I spent every possible moment together. We discovered a hidden cove not far from the main beach, a secluded spot surrounded by rocks and trees. It became our secret hideaway. One particularly hot afternoon, we decided to escape the crowds and head to our cove. The sun was high in the sky, and the water sparkled invitingly. Claire spread out a blanket on the sand, and we lay down, enjoying the tranquility. Do you ever think about what happens after the summer? I asked, looking up at the clear blue sky. Claire turned on her side, propping herself up on one elbow.
I try not to. I just want to enjoy the moment.
She leaned in, her lips brushing against mine. Her hand slid down my chest, tracing the lines of my muscles. I pulled her closer, my fingers tangling in her hair. The heat between us was undeniable, and the secluded cove offered us the privacy we craved. Claire's fingers danced over my skin, sending shivers down my spine. I rolled over, pinning her beneath me, our bodies pressed together. Her eyes were filled with desire, and she pulled me down for a deep, lingering kiss. The world faded away as we lost ourselves in each other. The warmth of the sun, the sound of the waves, and the feel of her body against mine created a perfect symphony. It was a summer romance like no other, filled with passion, laughter, and unforgettable moments.